Hello. Today, uh, I'm just sharing what's coming up. Well, I'm developing a new pattern. This is a pattern that I just recently came up with. I began testing on it this morning, and just updating and sharing with you guys what's been going on with it. Um, well, it's a prawn pattern, and I was going to test it out in the catch and release pond down at Jugara. Normally they have their fish species all separated out, so you have barramundi in one pond, the bigger barramundi in another pond, some grouper in another pond, GT and a redfish in another pond. But lo and behold, they decided to throw all of the species into one pond together. Uh, I was expecting to go and test this out on barramundi, which are, they're prawn and fish eaters. And, you know, the inside of their mouth, I mean, yes, it's abrasive, but it's not that powerful. Well, so the background of the story is that I had tied up this prawn pattern, you know, with using a piece of straw, yeah, a drinking straw that I had cut, and I had cut that thing to look just like the shell, the head shell of a prawn. It was, really well thought out. The bottom so the legs could stick out, everything, so everything was pulled together nicely. Everything looked perfect. It looked like a great prawn imitation and everything. And the first fish that grabbed it was the stupid grouper. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about because you're in another part of the world, the grouper that I'm talking about over here, these are not natural grouper. They are hybrid. They are bred just for eating, for table fare and stuff, but they are nasty. Even though they are hybrid, the bite power on these things and what happens inside of the mouths of these things when they grab things is just, it's not good, especially for any fly that happens to be fragile. Now, the thing is, the technique I used for tying down that piece of straw, I got from other fly tyers tying for other fish in streams and stuff in temperate areas, not grouper. Grouper grabbed it. I don't know what it thought of it, but when the straw came back, I mean, it was not attached to the fly anymore. It was riding up and down the hook. And a straw like this, when you crunch it down, it starts to become white and everything. Yeah, the whole thing was white. Okay, so yeah, I lost that fish. In fact, I didn't land any fish this morning. I had a lot of beginner mistakes because it's been a long time since I fished, and I fully admit I made a lot of really stupid mistakes, including letting go of the line when a barramundi was jumping. Dumb. Okay, so I'll be heading out again next week, hopefully, if schedule allows. But I'm going to share with you guys what's been going on with this pattern, and hopefully some of you can make this pattern better than what I have. This was my first tie on this pattern, this first attempt. I'm going to be trying an improved attempt today. Yeah, I'm going to share with you guys, and I hope somebody can make it even better. Okay, so I'm using a size 2 811S Tiemco. Yeah. Okay, let me tighten up my there. That's better. Okay. Now I had originally, because it was my first time, been using white thread. Yeah, I think I'll stick with it. I can't really see my camel thread in there. Okay, so being I'm not gonna deal with that straw anymore, I won't show that to you guys because that was not good. And the thing is that afterwards, a few barramundi grabbed it, and without the straw, they still grabbed it. So I'm convinced it still works without the straw. Okay, where did that fly go now? Yeah. I think the draw to it are the rubber legs and the way it sits and the prawn-like nature of it. I mean, that thing was just crawling very nicely on the bottom. Yeah, it came through snags quite well. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is the bead chain. Okay, come here, cut my bead chain. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Lock this in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. A little glue. Okay. Now, tie all the way to the back. Okay, I'll put in the rubber legs later. And the thing is, even though on this first pattern I used purple legs, I have a feeling that chartreuse might work better. I'm gonna try that on the next one. So I'm using tan regular craft fur to try to make the vein in the back of the shrimp, of the prawn. Okay, because they all have that vein, you know, that carries other stuff through the tail. So I'm using tan for that. If I had a darker color, that would be even better, but this is what I have on me right now. Okay, just a little bit. I'm gonna have the taper go all the way to the eyes, and that's it. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything too fancy with this. Tie this back, really crank down. Normally I bend things back and stuff like that. I don't want that bulk on this part yet. Okay, I don't want that sticking out. I just want a line coming out. Okay, that's it with that. This is a very simple pattern. For me, some reason, simple seems to work better. I tried the articulated flies. I got bites on them, but you know what? Some days the new things work better than the tried and true. That was the case today. I got bites on the articulated flies, but beginner mistakes again. So I had one Bear Money actually come up. It ate the fly, and I just sat there looking. Wow, it ate the fly, and I never set the hook. Beginner mistake. Beginner mistake. I need to get out more. Okay. Please comment down below if any of you have ever done something so stupid as that, you saw the fish eat the fly and you're just sat there looking at it like, wow. Okay, I hope I'm not the only one that did something that dumb. If I am, let me have it in the comments. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm gonna make my first layer of extra select white craft fur just a bit longer than my regular craft fur. Okay, extra select craft fur is longer than regular craft fur from the company that I buy. Okay, so see my head length, my access length, I'm going to keep it the same. That I am going to fold back, and you can see the end is longer than the tan. The end of the white is longer than the tan. Okay, so I am effectively stacking this. Okay, take this up a little bit, and I am going to fold this one back. And I want to make sure this is directly on top. Okay, because this is going to help lift, or in this case, drop the other pieces of craft fur and layer it so you get the appearance of, you know, the segments of the prawn without having to draw with black marker or anything like this. This is a very fluid fly, so if you need to strip it in and hope a fish will bite it, I had that happen today too, and it worked. But again, I was too stupid to get that fish. Okay, another little wisp of craft fur. I'm not stacking a lot. This one is so the last ones I had the tag end just before the eye. The second one, I'm going to go ahead of the eye just a little bit, so you can see it's getting shorter in the back. Pinch, wrap this down, keep everything stacked on top nicely all the way back. Okay, this one you have to be a little bit more careful and proper. Make sure everything comes up right. Think of tying a nymph, just a big nymph. Like, for those of you in the States, think hellgrammite, just a big hellgrammite. Okay. Another layer. This next layer I'm going to go thicker. And when you get all the under fur out, I don't know if that's the correct term, that's what I use for bucktail, the term I use for bucktail, but for craft fur, when you get the little things out, it's still just a little wisp. Yeah? So I'm going to measure by the axis in the front. This time I'm going all the way to the eye of the hook. Pinch, wrap. At the end of stacking here, make sure everything's nice. Get all the pieces, fold her back. So you can see it has the appearance, yeah, getting shorter and shorter and shorter. In the water, it, yeah, you can see it starts, you can see a gradation going back up like this. That's what we want, okay? Now, that's all I'm gonna do with the craft. I guess I could go one more. I'm gonna go one more. It's a new pattern. I'm not sure how much else I'm going to do with this. I just have to keep testing and testing until I perfect it, but this is part of the process of a new fly. Okay, I'm going past the eye this time. Okay. Capture that properly. Come back. Whoop. Make sure this is all on top nicely. Bring it back. Yes, there. Now you really see that everything keeps puffing nice like this. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead of this stack, and we're going to be using Ice Dub Minnow Belly or UV Ice Dub UV Pearl. Both of them are great product, and we're going to use these to basically make the appearance of the head. I'm going to wrap this just to cover up the stacking a bit. Okay, come forward a little bit more with this. Okay, then I'm going to wrap this back. Okay, and I forgot my brown Sharpie. I think if you had a brown Sharpie or a something like that, it would make this even better. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Where is my? I do have my rubber legs. Okay, I'm gonna make this even better. This time, instead of using the silly legs material, I'm gonna use this stuff that I used a lot for bluegill bugs in the States. Okay, now I'm gonna tie these longer. Yeah, let me start with a big long length. Okay, I don't need all of this. Come, Papa. Come here. Okay, there. Okay, now I'm going to use the rest of this. Prawns have a lot of legs, and we want lots of legs. One thing I found with this test fly is when the straw came off, my legs were too short and they got tangled up inside the dubbing. So I'm going to make these legs longer so that that doesn't happen so easily. There. That's as short as I'm going to go on these. Okay. Let me wrap in these legs first. All I'm doing to wrap them in is I'm putting them on. I'm taking the thread across once, twice, and it's spreading out the legs already. Readjust a little bit. Okay. I want all these legs facing down. Yeah. So now once I have this, then I start crossing through it. Hopefully I don't get my dubbing all caught up in this. Come on, dubbing. Don't be like that. Okay. I'm going to start crossing through the middle of it. Give it some more spreading effect. Come on. Come here. This is when patience is key. Get that there. One more. Get that there. And come here. These two. Oh, no, no. Okay. Now that they're spread, you see the legs are really flared out. Okay. I'm just gonna do one, kind of like a locking wrap you would do around dumbbell eyes. Come on. Okay, and you see that takes the legs straight up. Okay. And there, I'm going to come around here so I can get the right direction again. Okay. There. Now I'm going to just put, basically, I'm just going to stack dubbing from here. And I'm only stacking it on the bottom so that I get the correct profile of a prawn, whereby the bottom of the prawn is, there's more material. I mean, there's more mass at the bottom of a prawn than there is on the top. You know, I hate where I see prawn patterns and, well, you see just as much mass on the top of the fly as you do see on the bottom. That's not realistic at all. And I always had problems with those, and I understand they still caught fish. That's great and all, but for me, if you're going to tie a realistic pattern, try to be more realistic. I think we, you know, it's just for personal satisfaction. I believe the fish will bite it either way, and the fish have proven that they'll bite it either way, but you know, it's a personal satisfaction thing. Okay, tying this down here. And you know, I had originally planned to put an antenna and all that, but really it seems that the fish really didn't care today. They bit it no matter what. So I'm stacking dubbing here. Okay, and I'm gonna stack one more bunch. And that's it. I'm not even gonna mess with the antenna. In the past, I have messed with antenna, and I haven't seen that the fish really thought it was all that necessary. Stacking the dubbing here. Tie it in front. Up a little farther. There, now back. So I can discipline the dubbing a little bit. So you see, now you have that mass all on the bottom. Okay, there, done. Now I'm going to just whip finish this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. Now that I've seen what these fish are going to do with it, I know I have to adjust a little bit. It's really important on these fly patterns as you develop them. Test them a lot. See what the fish are going to do with it. Okay, I'm putting glue basically all the way on top here as well. Now, once that glue is dry, okay, I am going to come back through and mark the top with just a little bit of brown so I get that vein type appearance. Yeah, yeah, but that's it. That's the pattern. It's really simple. There's nothing that complex in it. It gives the appearance in the water of something, you know, crawling on the bottom. Yeah, it worked well for me this morning. I didn't land anything, but I got a lot of bites on this one. This was definitely the fly that got the most bites this morning. That being said, oh, I got some green crafter in here. That being said, you know, like I said, this is a new pattern. I'm probably going to change it a few more times, but this is where it's at right now. And I hope, you know, some of you out there, you take this pattern and improve it and catch a lot of fish off your own versions. Cheers.